By playing tonight, you are showing the world that we will not be intimidated by threats, acts of violence, or assaults on our democracy.
A moment of silence at last night's game after a gunman opened fire at a congressional baseball practice, and a very special guest throws out the first pitch. New information on the parents arrested in connection to the death of their baby last October. Next, what was found in his system when he died. And crews will close one lane of traffic near Kentucky and Indiana border today. How this could impact your commute. Good morning. It's 6 o'clock on Friday, June 16th. I'm Shaelie Clark. Dan Katz and Aaron Meyer are off this week. Byron Douglas is tracking the fog on radar that could slow your morning commute. Breaking overnight this morning in Evansville, police are investigating a report of shots fired and if it's connected to two people who showed up at a local ER with gunshot wounds. The shots fired report came from the area of Powell and Evans Avenues after 11 o'clock last night. While officers were on scene, we're told two people showed up at St. Vincent Hospital. Detectives are now investigating. We've got a call into EPD to get more information. We'll be updating the story in the day ahead. The Russian military says it has killed the leader of the Islamic State. They say it happened a few weeks ago during an airstrike. As ISIS leaders gathered to discuss the group's withdrawal from Raqqa, that is the group's de facto capital, Russia claims the leader was among those killed along with other senior group commanders. However, we're hearing that the U.S.-led anti-Islamic leader has not been able to confirm. We'll be monitoring this story. A new update on Sunrise this morning. An Evansville man has admitted he's responsible for the death of his 8-week-old son. Jesse Schwab and Summer Kellums were arrested in Henderson back in October and charged with neglect of a dependent, resulting in death. Court records show Schwab pleaded guilty and was sentenced to 20 years in prison. Reports show their son had meth in his system, but died from not being able to breathe. Authorities also said the baby was dehydrated and malnourished. Kellums was arrested again yesterday. The Vanderburgh County Jail's website lists her charge as failure to appear in court on a felony charge. Those normally on Capitol Hill moved to the ball field last night. The annual congressional baseball game took place as scheduled despite a shooting at the Republicans' practice that day before. Before the game, a moment of silence was held for those who were hurt. Capitol Police Officer David Bailey, who was shot Wednesday, threw out the ceremonial first pitch. 5 people were hurt in the shooting, including 2 police officers and Congressman Steve Scalise. Scalise is still in critical condition after several surgeries, though word came from the hospital during the game that he had improved. The players last night said they hope the game sent a message of unity.
I think it's just been a surreal atmosphere the last 24 hours or so. Tonight was a great opportunity for everybody to come together. You had Democrats and Republicans hugging, and people were crying, and you know, in this tragedy, it brings people together, and you've really seen Congress come together in the last day and a half.
The Democrats won the game 11-2. They gave the trophy to the Republicans, though, so they could put it in Scalise's hospital room. The Georgia prison inmates who had been on the run after they shot and killed 2 correctional officers were captured in Tennessee. The U.S. Marshal's Office announced last night that Donnie Rowe and Ricky Dubois were in the custody. Officials believe the fugitives tied up a couple in Shelbyville and stole a Jeep and guns. A report on how authorities were able to catch up with them is in a few minutes. Kentucky State Police want your help finding the people who stole another gambler's winnings at Ellis Park. KSP says the man and woman you see in this surveillance photo waited for a slot player to turn away, then cashed out his machine. KSP just tweeted what they believe they now know the identity of 2 suspects. They got away with an undisclosed amount of money. The investigation continues. A traffic alert for those traveling on Highway 41 today. One southbound lane will be closed near the Indiana-Kentucky state line. Kentucky transportation crews will be doing electrical work between the way station and Waterworks Road. That restriction will start at 9 this morning and wrap up around 2:30 this afternoon. A new committee in Henderson County meets for the first time this weekend. The Henderson County Fiscal Court's Volunteer Fire Department Committee is hoping to build from that vote just 2 months ago on an ordinance that will directly benefit volunteer fire departments. All county property owners now pay a $55 annual fee that goes toward fire departments all across Henderson County, unless they decide to choose to opt out of the clause.
I think creates a little bit more communication and transparency between county government and our volunteer fire departments. And this committee's task will be to make recommendations to county government. And I think it'll help everybody understand the functioning parts of the volunteer fire departments, how our financial plan helps them.
Tomorrow's meeting is in the training building at the Henderson County Road Department on Sam Ball Way. The committee is made up of 3 rural magistrates and the judge executive. Right now, Evansville police are looking for this suspected bank robber. The robbery happened yesterday afternoon at the Fifth Third Bank at Stringstown and Diamond. Officers say the man went inside, passed a note to the teller demanding money, and left on foot. We're told there was no weapon involved. If you missed out on the last chance to apply for flood help, you have another opportunity today. Indiana Governor Eric Holcomb announced the availability of disaster loans for people affected by the flooding back in April. People in Du Bois, Warwick, Perry, Pikes, Spencer, and Daviess counties can apply. We're told customer service reps will also be available at the disaster loan outreach centers set up in each county. You have until next Thursday to apply. Thank you for watching 14 News. Midday with Mike is ahead after the break.